Okay, so now your dog knows the meaning of the clicker. He knows that that click means he's going to get a treat. We've created a positive emotional response with the sound of the click, okay? So now we can start using it with behaviors. So the first thing I like to do, and because I work with so many rescue organizations and their fosters, the first thing I always like to do is create a positive emotional response with our dog's new name, right? And so I want to show you a real quick and easy way to do that. Basically, you would get 10 or so treats. So we'd say, Frank, 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 right? So you do a few sessions of that right up front, and the dog is going to learn real quickly that that word, their name, is a good thing, okay? Then you can start playing the name game with them. So when they're not paying attention to you, you say their name, and the second that they whip their head around to get you, you're gonna click. Now, you can toss a treat to reset them, or they can come to you to get the treat. So that's the way that the name game works. Let's work on a couple of behaviors with Frank that he already knows so that I can show you the timer of the click. So Frank has a pretty good nose targeting behavior where I ask him to touch the palm of my hand with his nose. So what I'm gonna do is in my clicker hand, I'm actually gonna hold the treats there because it's easier for me to get to them. And then I'm going to give Frank the cue to touch the palm of my hand with his nose. Right. Touch. Touch. Now, you saw him, because we're usually not working on my knees, you saw him offer a paw. He thought I was asking for another behavior he has called a high five. And you notice I didn't click for that because that's not what I wanted. So I gave him an opportunity. I didn't say a word. I gave him an opportunity to try again. Touch. Touch. I love touch, and I'll do a whole video separately on that because it's a great way to get dogs on and off furniture, scales at the vet. You know, it's great for recall. I love it too as a recall exercise. Touch. Good. And then say if I wanted to reset the dog, I'd toss the treat. Touch. I'm clicking the second that Frank's nose touches my hand. So go make a list of behaviors maybe that your dog already knows and start practicing with those. Couple things to keep in mind with the clicker. It's not a toy. It's super fun, and kids, I mean, it's just fun to click, right? Please put these away in between training sessions if you have kiddos, because if there's a bunch of clicking happening and nothing's going on for the dog, it's gonna lose value and lose meaning, and it's, you know, it just degrades the meaning of the click. Second thing, there's a 1-to-1 ratio. We click, we must treat, even when we make a mistake in our training, right? If you keep making mistakes, take a moment. And something that I did when I was first learning this is I actually did a lot of practice without the dog. Right? In my mind, I'd be clicking at the time of the behavior. Sometimes it's easier to work without the animal. And for all training, keep in mind, you're going to teach new behaviors, especially new behaviors as dogs are learning in a very low distraction environment. We don't want to have to compete with all the stuff that dogs might be noticing. And trust me, they notice a lot more than we notice. Okay, so go practice with some new behaviors. Check back, because I'm going to be doing a few simple clicker videos for some clicker exercises that will be useful and fun.